Good morning, everybody.
Good morning.
Oh, thank you. What an enthusiastic group. I want to thank you all so much for coming to our training session in Los Angeles today. I'm Sunny Justice, for those of you that I haven't met before, and I want to welcome you here. Whether you're here for our training session or whether you're joining us on video, we're thrilled to have you here to teach you more than you ever imagined possible about Burt's Bees. So please feel free to ask questions at any time, and if you're at home watching this, you can always call us on the phone and ask questions too. So today we're going to talk a little bit about the history of Burt's Bees. We're going to talk about our philosophy and our goals, what we're trying to accomplish as a company, and then we're literally going to go through the products one by one. Make sure you understand who they're best used for, how to use them, and what their benefits are. All right, so I thought we'd start off talking a little bit about the history of our company. Now, there really is a Burt, all right? That guy on the motorcycle and on front of the Bay Rum line, that is Burt. That's the most common question we get. Does he really exist? Well, Burt grew up in Manhattan, lived his entire young life in New York City. Then as a young adult, he started working as a photographer for Time Life magazine, traveled around the world taking pictures, and then just about in his mid-30s, he decided to drop out of society. So he moved to northern Maine, where he got a little plot of land. He hauled an 8-foot by 8-foot turkey coop off of a friend's property, fixed it up and made it his home, and Burt still lives there today, 35 years later. No running water, no electricity. Burt pretty much likes to lay in bed and be able to reach everything in his house, all right? 8 feet by 8 feet is not too big. I can't exaggerate, he has expanded. About 10 years ago, he made it 12 by 12, all right? So when Burt moved to northern Maine and just kind of decided to be a bit of a recluse there, he decided that he needed actual cash to survive, and he figured out that he needed $2,000 a year in actual greenbacks for things that he couldn't do without or barter for. So he started keeping bees in order to sell honey to produce that $2,000 a year in cash that he needed. So that's sort of the beginning of Burt's evolution in this process. Now, our other founder is a woman named Roxanne Quimby. And Roxanne is really the mastermind behind Burt's Bees. Burt is just the pretty face. That alone tells you a lot about our company, doesn't it? All right, so Roxanne grew up like many of us, multiple kids in the family, living in different parts of the U.S. Then as a young adult, she studied art at the San Francisco Art Institute. She's an incredibly talented and brilliant artist, and she is the creative force behind Burt's Bees. Now, just as she was finishing college, where she majored in art and also studied herbalism and became a master herbalist, a very serious accident happened in the United States. Do you all remember hearing about 3 Mile Island accident, the nuclear power plant accident in Pennsylvania? Well, that happened just as she was finishing her schooling, and she was so personally offended by that. She was so distraught over our need for more and more and more energy that she decided in protest to 3 Mile Island she was going to move off the grid. So she too ended up in northern Maine, where for 2 years she lived in a tent. And when we talk about northern Maine, they're about an hour north of Bangor, so this is just below the Canadian border. Very severe, harsh weather. So for 2 years, Roxanne lived in a tent while she figured out how to build her own house, cut down trees and build a house herself, and then proceeded to live in this house for the next 20 years, again with no running water or electricity. So incredibly pioneering lifestyles. But it's quite unusual because you don't meet many people like Burt and Roxanne. So they actually met quite by accident. Burt picked Roxanne up hitchhiking one day when she was trying to get to the local town to get some supplies. They became friends, and she was really interested in him once she found out that he was a beekeeper, because she realized that he had been storing all of this beeswax in his honey house for years. Now, being a brilliant artist who was also out of work and trying to figure out a way to make a little bit of money to support her kids, she made a deal with Burt that if she worked for an entire summer taking care of the bees, he would turn over all of the beeswax, and that's what happened, and this was in the summer of 1985. Now, when Roxanne got her hands on all of that beeswax, being a brilliant artist, she was actually the first person to conceive of the idea of candles that look like fruits and vegetables. So she actually hand carved those original candle molds, poured them, hand painted them, made some cute labels for Burt's Honey, and that's how Burt's Bees began in 1985, selling handmade candles and honey through craft fairs and flea markets, predominantly in New England because the van was too old to go further than that, all right? Then in 1989, we became officially incorporated and started selling our handmade goods to other stores who could then in turn sell it to consumers. Now, how many of you have known Burt's Bees historically over the years? How many of you have known us for like 5 years or longer? All right? Okay. So those of you who have been with us for a while, you know that through our history, we have made just about everything on the planet. All right? We used to make bird suet, stove polish, boot wax, mustache wax, fruitcakes, birdhouses, bee skeps, stationery, t-shirts, organic seeds, anything. As long as we could make it and sell it, that was the only requirement, all right? So it really started becoming quite chaotic, as you can imagine. Baking cakes in one room, silk screening t-shirts in another. It was a manufacturing nightmare. If we ever wanted to be a success, we could no longer just be the Burt's Bees general store. We had to have a focus. And so we took this tremendous leap of faith and decided that moving forward now, we were going to put all of our energies and efforts into making what we call earth-friendly, natural personal care. So from 1994 until today, our entire focus has been simply on that, making earth-friendly, natural personal care. That's what we call ourselves. You'll notice that whenever we have catalogs or posters, you always see that same verbiage, earth-friendly, natural personal care. And I'd like to explain to you what that means to us because that basically defines our missions and our goals, okay? All right, what does earth-friendly mean to us? Earth-friendly really has to do with how we manufacture our products and how we package our products. We have one very simple rule at Burt's Bees when it comes to packaging. That simple rule is we will only use materials that are not only recyclable, but that have already been recycled. As long as we use something that has been used before and can be used again, we're not creating one additional piece of garbage on the planet. And that is always our goal at Burt's Bees. Again, you don't have a founder who moved off the grid in protest of excessive energy use only to become wasteful. So it is oftentimes the biggest challenge that we face at Burt's Bees in launching a new product, is coming up with packaging that fulfills that requirement of having been used before and being able to be used again. Let me share an example of this with you. All right, how many of you are familiar with our lipsticks? All right, so quite a few of you. Many of you probably sell them. For those of you who haven't used it yourself, you might notice that we have an old-fashioned push-up mechanism with our lipstick tube. Now, when we launched this lipstick tube, we heard all kinds of things. Some people were like, that's pretty cool. That's kind of chic and retro and, you know, a little funky. And other people were like, you are so weird. That is like so out of date. You know, why do you guys always have to do things differently? So we hear all sides of the story. Well, understand something. When you take a modern lipstick case, inside that casing there's a little plastic element that holds the actual lipstick tube. That element is then soldered to a swivel unit that allows it to turn up and down. The moment that something is welded or soldered, it is no longer recyclable. So it was never an option for us to do a normal lipstick tube, or it would not have fulfilled our requirement of being able to be recycled after you use it. So we were actually ready to launch our lipsticks almost a year prior to launching them, but we couldn't find a container. Finally, we found this little company in Italy that still had machinery from the 1950s that used to make push-up lipstick tubes. And so they are, in fact, making these tubes for us. And when you're finished with this lipstick, you can throw it in your recycling bin like you could a soda can. So again, don't think that we do things just to be unique. We like being unique, but it's basically we're having to fulfill our commitment of not creating an additional piece of garbage on the planet. And that is always our #1 commitment to Mother Earth. So let me give you one other example of this as well. You're all familiar with our lip balm. World's best lip balm, yeah, woo! All right. Our #1 selling product at Burt's Bees. Now, for the longest time, you know, we only sold lip balm in a tin. Actually, before that, does anybody remember when we sold it in a terracotta pot? Anybody been around that long? You know, people used to say to us, why don't you put it in a tube? It's so much more convenient. Well, it took us 4 years going to 8 different plastic manufacturers over and over and over, asking them to make us a recycled plastic tube for consumer use, and nobody would do it. All we got is excuses. You're going to have compatibility problems. We can't guarantee color. We can't do this. We can't do that. Now, you've been putting your recycled goods in bins for years. You might not have had a great deal of thought about what happens to it when it leaves your house. Unfortunately, all of these water bottles and soda bottles and everything that you're using every day, they're not being used to remake consumer plastics. They're being reused to make industrial plastics. And we couldn't find anybody to make that commitment to us to make this tube. Well, at Burt's, we're sort of like a dog with a bone. We just don't give up. Finally, we wore one of them down to the point they were so sick of seeing us come in that they agreed to try it. So they said, we'll try to make a 25% post-consumer recycled tube. They tried it, no problems. Then they tried 50%. It was perfect, no problems. Then they tried 100%. It's absolutely perfect. This company is now the only plastics manufacturer in the United States making consumer recycled plastics. They are the #1 recycling plastic manufacturer in the country now. They are also making our lotion bottles as well as any other plastics that we're using. So we feel very proud of this, but because of our effort, possibly we speeded this process up 5 or 10 years earlier than it might have happened through its natural evolution because we weren't willing to take no for an answer. So that's what we mean at Burt's Bees when we say we're earth friendly. So we hope you appreciate that. We take that very, very seriously at our company. All right, earth friendly, natural personal care products. What does the natural part of this slogan mean? Well, natural refers to what goes into all of these cute containers, all right? Now, let's talk about our industry for a second. As I'm sure you guys are aware, the FDA is the governing body of our industry. They are the ones that decide what language we can use on labels, whether ingredients are safe or not. But unfortunately, the FDA was formed in the 1930s. Not many of their rules or regulations have ever been updated. Unfortunately, the FDA does not regulate the word natural. As you well know, you can have a product that is completely man-made, completely synthetically derived. You can add one botanical extract, and by law, you can call that product natural. So even though it may be very misleading, it may be in fact totally untrue. There is nothing illegal about that situation. So we find that a lot of companies do their very best to try to position and market their products as something much more natural than it really is. So we feel it's our responsibility to take one step further in helping to educate the consumer, since a lot of people don't make that effort. Now, you will notice that on every single product that we make for you, there is a black bar. In that black bar, it always tells you what % natural that product is. Now, as you'll see, many of them are 100%, but sometimes you'll see 99.76% natural or 98.83% natural. One man-made ingredient that we do use frequently at Burt's Bees is man-made vitamin E. All right? Natural vitamin E is called tocopherol. Man-made vitamin E is called tocopherol acetate. Now, the beauty of tocopherol acetate is that it not only works well as a preservative for natural ingredients, it literally allows us to use vitamin E in its natural state. Now, some of you may sell vitamin E oils or even supplements at your store. I don't care what any manufacturer tells you. You're never using 100% natural vitamin E. It's virtually impossible. Vitamin E is so delicate, and it's so volatile that it literally goes rancid within minutes in its natural state. So in order to be able to use it in its natural state, we blend it with its man-made version, and that gives it some stability and some shelf life so that we can actually utilize the vitamin in its natural form. All right? So if you see something that is not 100% natural, you're going to see the tocopherol acetate in there, working both as a preservative as well as allowing us to use vitamin E in its natural state. But just like we have one simple rule about packaging at Burt's Bees, we have one simple rule about ingredients. All right? That simple rule about ingredients has to do with your skin. All right. The skin is the largest organ of your body. Now, I've heard some rumors from men that that isn't true, but as far as I know, the skin is the largest organ of your body, all right? Any comments, gentlemen? Any comments at all on that? No? Okay. Now, you know, too many people think of their skin as just a shell or a coating that kind of holds in the blood and guts. They don't really think about it as a living, breathing organ, yet it is. Everything you apply to your skin topically, everything you ingest into your bloodstream, everything. If you don't believe me, take this simple test. Take a slice of garlic, put it on your wrist, and put a piece of Scotch tape over it. In about an hour and a half, 2 hours, you are going to have the worst garlic breath you have ever had in your entire life. And if that doesn't point out to you very quickly that your skin is an absorbent organ and that whatever it absorbs, it moves it quickly through your bloodstream, nothing will. All right? So, knowing that the skin is an absorbent organ, knowing that everything you apply topically you ingest into your bloodstream, our one simple rule for ingredients at Burt's Bees is this. If it's not safe enough to put in your mouth and eat, it's not safe enough to put on your skin. That keeps it really simple, doesn't it? All right? Everything we make at Burt's Bees is completely edible. And we're going to have several tastings today, all right? So the first very delicious product, I love this one. The first delicious product that I want you to eat is the Orange Essence Cleansing Cream, all right? Just take a little bit on your finger. Now, you can always ask for it to come back if you want more. If you've got scones or bagels there, just spread it right on, okay? All right. Now look at them all. I can see the looks on the faces here. They're like, she's out of her mind. She's asking us to eat personal care products. I see those looks, all right? Let me tell you, look at him. He's like, yeah, it's really good. It is. It's really good. You want seconds? Pass it back, girls. Okay. Don't worry. There's more coming, okay? All right. It is good. All right, but you know, I will tell you, a lot of people really get grossed out when I ask them to eat their personal care. You know, they find that whole concept is just very, very foreign to them. But I'm here to tell you, this is the most important concept that you can walk away with today. Personal care that is edible should be the norm, not the exception. If you ingest everything you put on your skin into your bloodstream, why would you choose to put anything on your skin that was not nutritious? Because understand something. What happens to your skin if you're putting chemicals on it? Let's say you have a favorite lotion that you love. Maybe you know it's totally crappy, but you love how it smells, so you use it anyway, all right? We've all been there, okay? So you're putting this lotion all over. What's happening when all of these chemicals and these fillers and these different preservatives are absorbed into your bloodstream? Well, it's ingested through your skin into your bloodstream, but because it's not a food or a nutrient, you cannot digest it. You can only ingest it. There's a huge difference between ingestion and digestion. You can ingest anything. You can only digest food and nutrients. So what happens to these ingredients you ingest that you cannot digest? Well, your body will store them, typically in your bones, in your muscles, or in your joints. Now, I will tell you in my personal opinion, I am completely convinced that the tremendous rise of disease that we have seen in this country, predominantly cancer, I mean, have you ever seen it more rampant? Anyone you talk to, someone else has cancer. Have you seen the latest cancer trend that men are getting breast cancer now? All right, that's the latest cancer trend. So it's just spreading like wildfire. And I'm completely convinced it's because of what we are breathing, what we are eating, and what we are putting on our skin. Now, every day you do not have total control over what you breathe. You can make your contributions by carpooling, putting less chemicals on Mother Earth, and making whatever impact you can in that way. But every single day of your life, you have total control over what goes in your mouth and what goes on your skin. And the sooner you start treating this like a temple and only giving your mouth and your skin healthy food and nutrients, the sooner you'll have as much energy as I do. Okay? There is a method to this madness, okay? But you see such a tremendous difference in your skin when you start treating it like an organ instead of a shell or a coating. So I give you all a homework assignment tonight, okay? When you go home tonight, I want you to go into your bathrooms. And I want you to pull out every single product that you are currently applying to your face or your body. And then I want you to read the ingredients. And then I want you to ask yourself if you would put that product in your mouth and eat it. And if you wouldn't, you should throw it in the garbage, because you are. Whether you ingest it here or ingest it here, it's all going to exactly the same vehicle. Things don't get separated inside. So that's why we give you very generous Burt's Bees gifts today. We do know that the trash can could be rather full tonight and the bathroom rather empty, all right? But I'm telling you, you can't believe how you simplify your personal care life, how much money you save by simply asking that question over and over when you look at a product, would I eat this? It becomes that simple. That's really how you should treat your skin. Give it food and nutrients, healthy things, just like you would give the rest of your body. And when you do, your skin will become this beautiful, happiest, glorious, radiant organ. All right? So that's our philosophy at Burt's Bees when we say that we're an earth-friendly, natural personal care company. Whether you love personally every product we make or not, you can always feel safe and confident recommending any of our products to anyone because they literally are safe enough to eat. We make food for your skin is what we make for you at Burt's Bees. Okay? So does anybody have any questions about our history or our philosophy or what we're trying to accomplish at Burt's Bees? Yes?
What made you decide to go from candles to body care products?
There was so much, we believed, more opportunity for us to grow in personal care because the candle market was already getting really jammed and a lot of people were copying a lot of our ideas. And we also, too, saw the tremendous need for real food for your skin. Nobody out there was doing it. You know, a lot of people make decent products, but nobody makes anything as clean as Burt's Bees does. And we started to see that that was the real niche. That's where the opportunity was, to go after what we always believed in from a food point of view and now make it a skin product as well. And it's paid off. Business is a buzzin'. Okay. All right. Any other questions? Okay, then let's start talking about the products now. As you all know, we have many different lines at Burt's Bees. The reason we have these different lines is they're either based on a specific ingredient story or they're designed to offer a specific therapeutic benefit. That's what distinguishes these different lines, and we're going to go through them one by one, okay? So let's start off over here, and let's just start right in the middle. We're going to start off talking about Baby Bee, all right? Baby Bee! You have to say it that way now and then, okay? Baby Bee is our line for sensitive skin. All right, you all realize you do have journals there in case you would like to take notes. Some of this information may be very helpful to you when you go back to your stores. All right, so Baby Bee is our line for sensitive skin. I never even position Baby Bee as a baby line. All babies have sensitive skin, but many adults do as well. We actually have a 50% adult usage on the Baby Bee line. So it's really designed for sensitive skin of all ages, all right? Now, within the Baby Bee line, we have several different moisturizers. I'd like to make sure you understand the difference between them because it may not be necessarily obvious, all right? As moisturizers in Baby Bee, we have the buttermilk lotion, we have the apricot oil, we also have the Baby Bee skin cream, all right, and the Baby Bee diaper ointment. Let's talk about Baby Bee skin cream first. Now, the Baby Bee skin cream was the first moisturizer that we ever had in the Baby Bee line. This is a beeswax-based moisturizer. It's loaded with almond oil and aloe vera. It's excellent for baby's bottom if baby's bottom is healthy and you're looking for a good moisture barrier cream to keep that wet diaper from irritating the skin. All right, I'm going to pass around all the products. Please feel free to smell them, try them, taste them, whatever you'd like to do with them, all right? All right, so if baby's bottom is healthy and you're looking for a good cream to keep the bottom healthy so that wet diaper doesn't irritate it, use that. If you see babies with little chapped cheeks, have you ever seen how babies get those chapped little cheeks? Have you ever wondered what that's about? Because you don't see that on adults, all right? It's because babies are not born with sweat glands. You do not develop perspiration glands until approximately 18 months old. You've never seen an infant sweat. They can cry like heck, but they cannot sweat, okay? So because they do not have sweat glands, they have a very difficult time regulating their body temperature, hence their skin chaps and rashes more easily than adult skin. So for those chapped little cheeks or for any chapped skin on their body, that's the skin cream I would recommend. Also for any adult looking for a sensitive skin cream, that too is the product I would recommend. Now I do have to tell you one funny story about this product. We had a couple from Atlanta call us and tell us that their 11-month-old daughter sat down and ate an entire jar of this. Now we use honey and rose to fragrance it, so it smells quite sweet. She was obviously grooving on it, all right? So they said they found her right when she was at the bottom of the jar. And so, you know, they were all freaked out. They immediately called Poison Control, who said, read us the ingredients, which they did. And Poison Control said, well, there's really nothing in there that could hurt her. So just watch her very closely, and if she's at all acting abnormal, take her to the doctor. They said she was perfectly fine, but she had very silky poop for the next few days. It's like, yeah, that almond oil just gliding right through there. So see how multifunctional our products are? If you're ever feeling relatively stuck, all right, this is the Burt's Bees product to turn to, okay? It's in the baby section. It's over there with the laxatives, okay? But you know, this couple went on and on. We love you, Burt's Bees. She could have been dead if she had eaten something else. And we all come back into our meetings and we say, how absurd is that thought? That a personal care product you put on your skin could kill you if you put it in your mouth. It starts seeming really absurd, the whole concept, doesn't it? So I'm going to come back to this 100 times today. It's food for your skin. If you wouldn't put it in your mouth, it doesn't deserve to go on your skin. It should always keep coming back to being that clean. Yes?
We've had a lot of customers request that ask us if you're going to come out with a baby wash.
You mean other than our buttermilk soap? Mm-hmm. So you're talking about a soap in a liquid form?
Like equivalent to like Johnson & Johnson's.
Well, as we will talk about more when we talk about our lotions and natural preservation, we are working on trying to figure out how to preserve soap agents in a water base naturally, which would ultimately allow us to move into shampoos, shower gels, and liquid soaps. But I want to bring up one interesting thing now that you mentioned like Johnson & Johnson's. There is this company that measures sales of all different product categories within our industry. And interestingly enough, we just found out ourselves that Baby Bee is the number 10 selling baby line in the US, with Johnson & Johnson being number 1. And so it was like that we even made the cut. I mean, we were so thrilled. We had no idea that we were playing such a significant role as a little company as we are. But, you know, it's the cleanest line out there. So obviously it's making a lot of strides into the more mainstream market. So that was pretty exciting that we were even on the same list with Johnson's baby products. So it looks like there's a tremendous amount of growth potential for Baby Bee right now. A lot of people, as they're making this conversion to healthier products, the first person that they're going to be most concerned about doing it on is their infant. And so, you know, I think there's a great opportunity for growth with this line. Okay? All right, so that's the Baby Bee skin cream. Now, If baby's bottom is not healthy, this is the medicated cream that we sell, all right? The diaper ointment is zinc oxide based. It's loaded with vitamin A, E, calendula, comfrey, lavender, everything we know that's good for really severe rashing, all right? Now, because it is zinc oxide based, of course, you can also use it as a total sunblock. And it's better than straight zinc oxide because it's got all those herbs and vitamins in it as well. And even though we typically think of baby as diaper ointment as a baby product, I've also been told, I haven't had the pleasure of experiencing this myself, but I've been told that it works incredibly well on adult hemorrhoids, the diaper ointment, as well as it works well when people get cold sores around their mouth. So there's possible even adult benefit for this product as well. All right? Now, we also have the Baby Bee Buttermilk Lotion. Now, I'd like to speak with you for a moment about our lotions. As I'm sure most of you are aware, we have three: the buttermilk, the milk and honey, and the carrot lotion. Now, when these lotions launched just about 2 years ago, I don't think that much of the world ever understood the significance of these lotions, so I'd like to point that out to you. Now, first of all, how do you make lotion? Well, it's incredibly easy. You take cream and you add water. That's how you make lotion. Unfortunately, when you add water to an emollient product, water makes things grow. What usually will grow within that emollient base is mold, fungus, and bacteria. Now, when you guys go back to your stores today or tomorrow, I want you to look through all the water-based products that you sell in your stores. Water-based products are shower gels, body lotions, shampoos, conditioners, and bubble baths. If you look at any of those 5 products, the first ingredient you're going to see is water. They are water-based products, all right? Somewhere down near the bottom of that ingredient list on those water-based products, you're going to see the ingredients methylparaben and propylparaben. Have you ever noticed those ingredients? All right? Those are the water preservatives used within the cosmetic industry to keep water from growing mold and fungus. Now, at Burt's Bees, we would never use methyl and propylparaben. First of all, not only are they not natural, we consider them to be what we call light poisons. All right, think about it this way. If you have weeds growing in your yard, what do people spray on those weeds to get rid of them? Pesticides. What do you think you spray on that water to kill those little mushrooms and flowers that want to grow? Pesticides. That's basically what methyl and propylparaben are. They're pesticides. So we would never use them. So as many of you know, for the longest time we never had lotions. We only had creams and salves. We still have no liquid soap. We only have soaps in bar forms. Because again, it was always a given in our industry that you couldn't preserve water without methyl and propylparaben. Well, as I mentioned just a moment ago, we have an incredibly brilliant chemist at Burt's Bees. We're so blessed to have him. His name is Chuck Friedman. Chuck worked for almost 5 years on the sole task of trying to figure out how to preserve water naturally within an emollient agent, and he finally did it with these lotions. We are using a combination of milk enzymes, sugar protein, and orange wax. Those 3 ingredients together have effectively preserved the water in these lotions, making them, in fact, the only completely natural lotions on the market today. So, in case some of you have not tried them, I'm going to pass them around. I want you to feel them on your skin. You can feel the difference in a lotion when you take out the parabens. First of all, it feels much silkier and much smoother. And here is the other tremendous benefit, besides, of course, it being natural and edible, which is a big benefit, all right? How many of you have ever put lotion on your skin only to find that an hour later it feels like your skin is dry and you didn't even apply anything? Everyone has experienced that. Do you know why that is? No, not alcohol. It's because methyl and propylparaben are incredibly drying to the skin. So they offset the moisturizing capability of whatever oil is in that product, and that's why after an hour it doesn't even feel like you had anything on your skin. So not only are these lotions healthy and natural, your moisturization is going to be so much longer lasting because you don't have the parabens in there to offset the capability of the oils to moisturize your skin. So they really are long lasting as well as being healthy. So when someone comes into your store looking for a truly natural lotion, you have 3 options to offer them, and at this time, they're all from Burt's Bees. Okay? Have you guys been using the lotions yourself? All right, you really can feel the difference, can't you? Not only is it so much silkier, the moisturization really is longer lasting. So the Baby Bee Buttermilk Lotion is for sensitive skin. Adults can use it for face or body. For baby, you can use it for face or body. Anybody looking for a sensitive skin lotion. Okay? All right. Also in the Baby Bee line, we have our apricot baby oil. Actually, we have 2 different oils in the Burt's Bees line. We have the apricot oil in Baby Bee, and we have the vitamin E bath and body oil in Farmer's Market. Now, both of our oils can be used 3 ways. You can pour them directly in the bath to take a moisturizing oil bath. You can rub them directly on your skin as a moisturizer, or you can use them for massage. All right? Now, I find that a lot of people are leery of using oils on their body as a moisturizer because they're afraid that it's going to feel greasy, sticky, or tacky. The trick to using oils is only apply oils to your skin when your skin is damp or wet. All right? When you get out of the shower, grab that towel and wrap up your hair, but leave all that precious water on your body. Pour some oil into your hand and just rub it right into that water. You'll use very little, it absorbs very quickly, and it never ever feels greasy, sticky, or tacky. Feel my skin, I only have oils on there. Feel, oh yeah, ooh, very nice, yes, would you like to feel too? How many of you would like to feel? All right, it truly is the best way to moisturize your skin. Because when you think about it, any lotion or cream that you buy, the only ingredient in there that moisturizes is an oil. Everything else is for emulsion, consistency, preservation, aroma. So I like using things in their simplest, cleanest form. Don't be afraid of oils. It's the best way to moisturize your body. Just apply it when the skin is wet, okay? All right, so those are the different moisturizing products in the Baby Bee line, all right? All right, yes, we have a question.
Are any of these can be used in the sun as a sun screen or something like that?
Well, the zinc oxide would work in the diaper ointment, obviously, as a total sunblock, because zinc oxide is what it's not a sunscreen, it's a block. It doesn't permit any UVA or UVB rays to go through. The unfortunate part of zinc oxide is that it's thick, heavy white coating. To address the rest of it, do our products have SPF, is maybe the question you're asking me. The answer is no, all right? All sunscreens, be it SPF 5 or 45, all sunscreens are chemically derived, all of them. Why? Because God gave us ozone and tree canopy, all right? This wasn't supposed to happen. This is a man-made problem, so hence there are only man-made solutions. And since all sunscreens are chemically derived, we don't use them. The way that we provide sun protection, for example, like in our Lifeguard's Choice lip balm, we take our regular lip balm and we add the mineral titanium dioxide, which is like a lightweight version of zinc oxide. Can you see how I'll put that light white coating? Not quite as heavy and dense as zinc. So titanium is a mineral, just like zinc is. There are only 3 ways to block from the sun naturally: the mineral zinc oxide, the mineral titanium dioxide, or the plant ingredient PABA. Most people are allergic to PABA, so it's not very usable. But in this particular instance, for example, in a sheer coating of this, you have the equivalent to an SPF of about 10 to 15. But like with zinc, the thicker you put it on, the more protection you have. You can also use it on nose, cheeks, ears. But we don't have an all-over body sunblock, and none of the creams have physical SPFs in them, okay? All right. We've talked now about the Baby Bee moisturizers. There's a few other products in the Baby Bee line I would just like to mention. As I'm sure most of you are aware, we have our Baby Bee Buttermilk Bath. It's sold both in the envelope as well as the pint-sized milk bottle. Since the time of Cleopatra, we've known that milk soothes and softens the skin. All this is non-fat dry milk and dry buttermilk. If you run out of milk, add water, pour it on your cereal, okay? Right? It makes it a little easier than running to the store, okay? All right, so if it was good enough for Cleopatra, it's good enough for us. That's what milk is designed to do, soothe and soften the skin while you bathe in it. And I'll pass one of these around in case some of you are not familiar with the aroma now that we have our new non-breaking cap. All right, all right, pass that around for you to see. Also in the Baby Bee line, we have our Baby Bee dusting powder. It is, of course, talc-free. It's cornstarch based. We use ground rosebuds and myrrh to fragrance this powder. It's quite beautiful if you've never smelled it before. Please make sure that you do. And I'd like to point out one other thing here. If ever you have a customer coming into your store who's looking for something for someone who's elderly or convalescing or someone who has been hospitalized, I always move them into Baby Bee. Anyone who's more senior, their skin gets quite sheer and quite sensitive, or anybody who's convalescing or in a healing mode should also be treated as if their skin is sensitive. So I kind of see Baby Bee as the most appropriate line for both ends of the age spectrum, as well as anybody with sensitive skin or anybody convalescing in between. Okay, does that kind of make sense to everyone? Okay. We also have the Baby Bee Buttermilk Soap. This soap, like all of our soaps, is vegetable based. We simply add buttermilk and honey as the additives. As a matter of fact, Vogue magazine did a survey on soaps, and they voted this the safest, gentlest soap they found on the market today. So use it to wash baby's face, hair, even baby's body. Adults with sensitive skin can use it for face and body as well. Okay? Yes, did we have a question?
Yes, you keep using the word sensitive. Can you define sensitive for me a little bit more? Does that mean somebody that has really dry skin? Is it, I mean, what is sensitive? Is it hypoallergenic?
Sensitive skin does not necessarily have to be dry skin. It's skin that reacts very easily, typically to fragrance or chemical ingredients. You know, where it could give any kind of rash or burning sensation or cause an irritation to the skin. You can have actually oily skin and have sensitive skin. So it isn't necessarily dictated by dryness. It's dictated by how sensitive you are to ingredients. So when we make the Baby Bee line, for example, we're using the things most known to be gentle to skin. Honey, milks, you know, buttermilks, beeswax, almond oils, all the things that typically are non-irritants. And the particular fragrance that we use in the Baby Bee line as well is fragrance oils that are typically known not to aggravate the skin. Because in many instances, that's what really aggravates people with products, is the scent that's added. But oftentimes it's the chemical preservatives or, you know, any of these harsh toxic ingredients that are in there. But even though everything we make is natural, with Baby Bee we use even the most delicate and gentle ingredients of the whole natural family. Okay, so it really doesn't have to do with dryness. It has to do to reaction to ingredients. Okay? All right, any other questions? Okay, I think we have one more question right here.
Do you have any non-scented products?
At this time, we don't have any unscented products. We only are using essential oils to add fragrance to something. Now, let me explain one thing here, because this might even help you when you look at ingredient listings on something. You'll notice, for example, whenever you see an ingredient listing on a product, somewhere near the bottom you usually see the word fragrance, yet it doesn't define what that is. Let me tell you why that is. First of all, fragrance within our industry is considered the one thing that is proprietary. Because you literally have to list your ingredients, not only list them all, but you have to list them in descending value so we know what it contains the most of and what the least of. It's very easy for companies to knock one another off because you've basically had to list your formula. If you also had to list what was in your fragrance, what made it smell good, hopefully, then there would be every opportunity for people to knock you off fully. So the FDA has always let fragrance be considered proprietary so that you have something to protect so you don't get copied as easily. However, fragrance should be listed as fragrance if something is added to make it smell good. For example, if we add lavender oil to something because of the benefit of lavender oil in helping to heal the skin or soothe the skin, even though the product smells like lavender, if we added lavender for skin benefit, it'll simply say lavender. It won't say fragrance. If we added that lavender to the product simply because we wanted it to smell good and weren't counting on it doing anything else, we would simply say fragrance and you'd never see the word lavender. So it depends on what your intent is when you're adding an ingredient to product, whether it's there to cause aroma or there for skin benefit. And so we don't typically add very many things for the sake of aroma alone. We're adding the essential oils for skin benefit, but they do end up having smell because of that. So no, we do not have any products that are completely unscented. I think it's virtually impossible to do naturally, because almost all natural things have an aroma. The only way you can make it unscented is if it's all chemically derived. So that has been our experience, because we've tried to work on things that have less and less fragrance, but everything in nature does have a scent, basically. Okay? Okay. Any other questions? All right. I think that pretty much completes our look at the Baby Bee line. I do want to point out one other thing about not only Baby Bee, but all of the different products line that are selling our fabulous sampler kits. Have you all been really successful with these? Yeah, these kits have been phenomenal, haven't they? I do want to let you know that they have done everything we've intended for them to do. They've gotten out tons of trial and sampling out there, so people have an opportunity to fall in love with the products and then come back and buy them from you. The one thing that happened that we weren't quite prepared for was the #1 consumer call that we now get at Burt's Bees. And that call is, "Hi, I bought a kit at a store, but they don't have the full-size products. Where can I get it?" All right? Don't make the mistake of simply carrying the kits, of creating the interest, getting that customer interested not only in Burt's Bees but in your store, getting them excited about something, and then having them come back only not to be able to buy the full-size products from you. The purpose of these is to drive the sales of full-size products, not just to have cute, affordable gifts around. Cute, affordable gifts are good, but if you want repeat business, if you want this business to grow and be profitable for you, you have to sell them the things that you've sampled to them and they're now interested in and want to use day in and day out. So just know that that kind of shocked us, how many requests that we get about that. And we want to share that with you so you know you're not losing out on the business you've begun to build. Make sure that they can come back to you and not to somebody else once you've gotten them interested and excited. Okay? All right. That pretty much completes our Baby Bee line. I would now like to start talking about Farmer's Market. Farmer's Market is this collection of products that you're seeing right here. And Farmer's Market is all made from fruits and vegetables. That's what distinguishes this line from the rest of the lines. Now, in Farmer's Market, we have both face and body products. So let's talk about face products first. Now, if you're helping a customer buy face care products, I'm sure there's usually a procedure you suggest they follow to best take care of their skin. What is that procedure? What do you do first? Cleanse, then tone, moisturize. Cleanse, tone, moisturize. Now there's actually one more step in there that we've forgotten. What is that? Exfoliate. Cleanse, exfoliate, tone, and moisturize. That is always the procedure that you should follow day in, day out. So let's talk about each of those steps and make sure we're clear what we have available in each of those categories. In Farmer's Market, we have 4 different facial cleansers, all right? The first is the Ever Delicious Orange Essence Cleansing Cream. All right, pass it around again if anybody's hungry, all right? Orange Essence not only tastes great, it effectively removes dirt and makeup. How many of you have ever used orange products in your house for cleaning? All right, you've seen orange products. Orange oils are phenomenal for cleaning. They remove dirts, they remove oils. They're very, very effective cleansers. We've also, though, enriched this facial cleanser with olive oil. It's an incredibly moisturizing facial cleanser. It is designed for skin that is normal to dry, very dry, or mature. If your skin is normal to oily, you're not going to like it. It's going to feel like your skin was left too moisturized and too supple. But if your skin is more dry or very dry, you're going to love the moisturization that leaves on the skin. So definitely a very effective cleanser for removing dirt, even eye makeup, but it really is geared towards skin that's normal to dry, very dry, or mature. It is a moisturizing cleanser. All right, we also have 3 complexion bars in the Farmer's Market line. All right? first we have the Garden Tomato Soap. Now, I find these soaps so phenomenal when you consider that there are no added colors or dyes to this. I mean, it's tomato. We could have made spaghetti sauce or we could have made soap, all right? All right, I just find these phenomenal when you consider there's no fragrance or colors added, all right? Now, the Garden Tomato Soap is specifically for skin that's oily, troubled, prone to acne and breakouts. It's incredibly effective for teen and adolescent skin, anybody going through that changeable period where their skin is prone to breaking out. As we know, tomatoes naturally acidic, oily skin's naturally alkaline. It helps balance that pH of oily skin. All right, now as I'm sure many of you are aware, we also have the Garden Tomato Toner to use in conjunction with that tomato soap. It too is for skin that is normal to oily, troubled, prone to breakouts, blemishes, and acne. This is the only Burt's Bees product that exists that has natural alpha hydroxy acids, or AHAs as they're known. We're using bilberry extract and 2 different sugar extracts as the natural AHAs. Now, if any of you have not tried this toner, I do want to tell you it really is for skin that's oily, troubled, or prone to breakouts. It's quite potent. If your skin is more normal to dry, it's going to be too strong for you. You're not going to like it. It really is for skin that's oily. Okay? We also have the Wild Lettuce Complexion Bar. Now, this beautiful soap is made from lettuce. It's also loaded with aloe vera. All ingredients, when you think about eating salad or using aloe, all very gentle, delicate ingredients. This soap is probably the most versatile of all of them. You could use this on normal skin, combination skin, skin that's slightly dry or sensitive. Again, think of the ingredients, lettuce and aloe. That's not going to irritate too many people's skin. They're very gentle, mild ingredients. We also now are launching a new lettuce toner, a wild lettuce toner. So here's the first of the new products that you're seeing today. All right, this wild lettuce toner, again, for skin that's normal, combination, slightly dry or sensitive. This has a very, very low level of alcohol, about 2%, versus the tomato toner is about 40%. So these are 2 totally different animals, all right? So this is about 2% alcohol. We've also loaded it with cucumber, lettuce, and chamomile extracts, things that we know are very gentle and soothing to the skin. So here is a toner now that will suit a much wider range of skin types than just the tomato toner will, which is again more for oily. All right? The last of our complexion soaps is the Garden Carrot Soap. Now, many of you may have noticed that we have an ever-growing collection of carrot products. All right, carrot soap, carrot day cream, carrot night cream, carrot lotion, carrot mist. Why so many carrot products, you might ask? Well, I'm here to tell you that they should probably be your #1 selling category of products from Burt's Bees because of what they do. They are all designed to undo premature aging from sun exposure. Anybody suffer that? Why do we have so many carrot products? It's because I'm the queen of sun damage, and we are desperately trying to keep me young. I told Chuck the other day, I need a carrot suit now, all right? You know, I mean, I need it all, okay? Truly, the carrot products are the most effective products on the market today for undoing sun damage, and I don't make that claim lightly. I'm going to tell you how they work, and I'm going to tell you why they work, okay? All right. The carrot products all contain the same miracle ingredient, which is called carrot seed oil. This oil comes from the seed the vegetable grows from, not from the vegetable itself. Who's ever seen carrot seeds? So you know how teeny, tiny. I mean, they're smaller than mustard seeds. They're minute. So can you imagine how difficult it is to get oil from them? We literally take millions and millions of seeds pressed to create the most minute amount of oil. Carrot seed oil is considered incredibly valuable. It's extremely expensive and precious. All right, that's why most companies don't use it. That's why your carrot lotion even costs $1 more than your other lotions. It's simply because of the high cost of carrot seed oil. Now, if you took pure carrot seed oil and put some on your skin, you would see that instantly your skin turned bright red. Not because your skin is irritated, But because carrot seed oil has the miraculous ability to draw blood to the skin surface. Now, let's talk about the skin as an organ here for a moment. The skin is made up of multiple layers, all right? Your blood hangs out predominantly in the lowest layer of skin called subcutaneous tissue. The only time your blood makes it to the skin's surface is when you blush or when you're flushed. So if you just exercise really hard, your blood will come to the skin surface. If you're having menopausal hot flashes, that'll get it there too, all right? But look around the room at us. It isn't happening for any of us on a regular basis. It's there in the subcutaneous tissue, all right? Now, what is the advantage of getting the blood to the skin surface? Your blood carries your oxygen and your nutrients. In order for healing to take place anywhere in your body, whether you're trying to heal a broken bone or cut skin or undo sun damage, healing can only take place by bringing the oxygen and the nutrients in your blood to that area. There is only so much you can do to your skin topically. Yes, you can make your skin softer and more supple looking, and you can get rid of blemishes, but if you want to undo damage, if you want healing to take place, that has to be accompanied by the oxygen and the nutrients of your blood coming to the skin surface. So by wearing that carrot cream on your face both day and night, it's constantly working to pull the blood closer and closer to the skin surface, bringing the oxygen and nutrients there and helping to undo damage. Now, people say to me all the time, well, if you wear carrot cream, does it make you look all red? It's like, no, you don't look all red, but you definitely have that carrot cream glow. Yeah, I can always tell when someone's a carrot cream user, all right? Your skin looks more radiant. It truly does, because the blood's coming closer to the skin surface. Yes?
I think you should tell everybody how old you are.
Oh, I'm 73. I look really fabulous, don't I? Well, no, let me share my personal story with you, because I truly am the sun damage queen, all right? I was a competitive swimmer for 17 years, and for 5 years, I was a lifeguard on Miami Beach. And I sat out there 365 days a year baking. And you know, we didn't have sunscreens then, back in the old days. All right? I mean, I never even wore hats. If you wore sunglasses, that was a lot. So we're talking really excessive sun damage. Now, when I was in my late 30s, I was living back in Miami again. And I'm an avid gardener. That's my passion. So I'm always outside. And I was starting to see that I was getting really definitive lines were forming around my lips. And the lines on my forehead and around my mouth were getting very deep and creviced. And I really started freaking out because I was only in my late 30s and I knew this was too young for that to be happening. So I called up Chuck. I was like, Chuck, what should I do? Because all we had at the time was the original carrot cream, which we now call carrot night cream. And we hadn't put that much focus behind what carrot seed oil could really do. So Chuck was the first one that really started getting me thinking about undoing this from a sun damage point of view. And I started using the original carrot cream. In the daytime, I would just mix a little water with it to make it more sheer and use it straight at night. I will tell you now, well into my mid-40s, my skin looks younger now than it did when I was in my 30s. I would have never dreamed of standing up here in front of you with a bare face when I was in my 30s. My skin tone was way too uneven. I had so much sun damage, blotchiness, too many wrinkles, that I too wore a lot of makeup, foundation, powders, the whole face. Took me an hour to put it on, you know, because, you know, you were trying to kind of hide behind it. My skin has completely changed since I started treating it like an organ. And since I only give it food and nutrients. And since I use the carrot products to help bring the blood flow there and undo damage. And I have not only seen the results on my own skin, I cannot tell you how many people that I have literally seen the carrot products literally remove 10 to 15 years of aging on their skin. So I'm telling you, it is the best thing you can use if you want to undo damage. Now we have, in addition to the original cream, the new whipped carrot day cream. You all have samples of it in your bag. Have any of you tried it yet? Did you like it? Oh, it's so beautiful. Look at them in the back. Yes, we've tried it. Wait till you try this. You're just going to wake up every day kissing me. Oh, Sunny, she got me that carrot day cream. All right? So radiant. And here's the one thing I want to make sure you know. Carrot cream is not only for old skin. Okay? My 13-year-old daughter gets carrot cream on her face every single day. I live in Ojai, which many of you may know. It's hot, it's desert there. She's doing maximum amount of sun damage. It doesn't matter how old she is. She's completely tan, she rides horses, she's got that splotchiness all over her, total sun damage. So she's using Carrot products every single day. It isn't about how old you are, it's about how sun exposed you are. You can use Carrot products on babies, all right? It's perfectly safe for anybody who needs healing of the skin, healing from undoing sun damage. Now, I want to share one story with you, because this might help put a bunch of these products together for you. Look, they're all up here putting it on already. Yeah, all right. God, you look 5 years younger already. Thank you. I can't even believe it. Okay. Wait till we put on lipsticks. Yeah. Okay. All right. At the beginning of the summer, last summer, I think it was like June, I was in Athens, Georgia, and we had done a training like this, and there was a health food store at the training, and they had just remodeled their whole store, and they were so happy that they asked me to come back and see their store. So I was at their store, and Athens, Georgia is a college town, all right? And this college-aged man walks in, 19, 20 years old, and this poor guy has the worst of every problem you can possibly imagine, all right? His skin is so oily, it looks like it's about to drop off in like raindrops. You just kept waiting for one to fall, all right? He had really, really bad acne, and obviously in an attempt to address this, because they had had their first major hot weather, it looked like he had sat outside in the sun with foil under his face. He was so severely sunburned, and he was peeling. So he walks into the store, and this young girl's there who just started. He's like, "What should I do?" She's like, "Talk to Sunny. Go talk to her." And he's like, "What should I do?" I'm like, "Buddy, cut your head off, okay?" Don't you just wish one day you could say the first thing that came to your mind? We'd all end up in hell at the end of that day, wouldn't we? Now, I said that in one school that I told the guy to cut his head off, and this girl in the front row almost started crying. It's like, no, I'm only kidding. I didn't really say that. She's like, poor guy. Okay. Okay, so here we have this man. He's got oiliness, he's got acne, he's got sunburn, and as I looked at him more closely, I saw that for his young age, he was incredibly aged around his eyes. So it told me he had been doing this sunburn thing over and over through the years to try to deal with this acne and oiliness. So we not only have sunburn, we have severe sun damage as well. So I told him he should be washing with the tomato soap, all right? The oiliness and the acne we've got to deal with, all right? He should be exfoliating with the citrus facial scrub, which we'll talk about next. The perfect exfoliant for any skin type and every skin type. I told him in a day or two, when that sunburn wasn't so severe, he could add in that garden tomato toner, okay? On day one, that might have been a bit harsh, all right? But once the sunburn was no longer painful, get that tomato toner going in there. Now, being that he had oily skin, he was terrified of using a moisturizer. I'm sure you've all experienced this with customers or possibly your own self who has oily skin and you don't know what to do about this. Now, I'm sure many of you have noticed that people with oily skin so deplete their skin of any nutrients or hydration because they never give it anything because they're afraid that it's going to make the oiliness worse, that they totally place their skin basically in a state of shock. It's always in a depleted state because it's not getting any nutrients or hydration, so it goes into overdrive, producing more and more and more oils. And when I explained to him how easy it is to help regulate the oiliness by actually giving the skin some nutrients and hydration, that it'll slow that process down, he said that he was willing to contemplate this and try this. So I told him he should be using the Carrot lotion. All right, now this is the sheerest of all of the Carrot products, and we've got to deal with this sunburn and this sun damage. Now, he was afraid of even using this because he thought this was going to be too rich for his skin and too much for his skin. So I told him to simply take a small amount, and when I say small amount, I really mean a small amount. And I told him to put it in his hand and blend it with the grapefruit complexion mist, which is for oily, troubled, and acne-prone skin. The essential oils in this blend help control the pH of oily skin. So by blending them together, in my hand, I have created a moisturizer that is basically like water. It can't get any sheerer than this. Let me let some of you feel this here. See how incredibly lightweight that is? Even somebody with oily skin would not be fearful of using this. You have to turn around and tell everybody how sheer it is, since they all won't feel it. All right? But do you see how you could use these products together? Let me let you feel this. Ooh, and you get the end of it here, girl, so you get the massage as well. I'm going to have her eating out of my hand in just a second here. And look at all the blood flows coming to your skin there. That's so healthy for you. Okay. All right. All right, but do you see, you may never have thought of using tomato and carrot together, or offering carrot to somebody with oily skin. That's the beauty of those complexion mists. You can blend any of the mists with any of the moisturizers to make them more custom oriented to your particular skin's needs. So we have the grapefruit complexion mist for oily skin, we have lavender for normal skin, chamomile for sensitive skin, and then the carrot seed complexion mist, again for skin that suffered sun damage. All right? So always know that you can blend any of the mists with any of the moisturizers to customize them towards your particular skin needs. All right? So everybody always asks me, well, did it help him? It's like, I don't know, I never saw him again. But you know what? It couldn't have been worse, all right? It had to help. I'll trust you. It had to help, okay? All right, does anybody have any questions about that? How we mix those things, or things that customers ask you that you can't address? All right? Yes.
The mist that you talked about, is that used only to use with a cream, or is it used another?
You can use the mist, well, at least 3 ways. You can mist your face anytime your skin feels dehydrated. You can even mist over makeup if you have makeup on. So simply mist and let it dry. Don't rub it in while it's wet, all right? So just mist and let it dry. You will hydrate the skin, plus you're giving it nutrients because there are essential oils in there. So anytime your skin is dehydrated, use it. I find that it's always best to apply a moisturizer to skin that is damp. So even before I put my moisturizer on, I mist my face. It just goes back to that whole concept of leaving your skin wet to put the oils on. All moisturizers absorb better into damp skin. So mist your face before you put your lotion. Mist your face anytime you need hydration, or blend any of the mists with any of the moisturizers to make them more sheer, because that's how you make lotion, or that's how you thin something out, simply by adding water to it. All right, and you can also, I use the lavender all the time in my room as a room spray as well. So there are many functions for them. Yes?
A lot of people like to use moisturizers that don't have any oil. All your products have oil. What do you say to somebody that says, I use an oil-free moisturizer?
We don't currently have anything for them. They could use the mist for hydration, but there are essential oils. I don't know if you're talking about plant oils or essential oils, because they're 2 different types of oils. Plant oils are usually used for moisturization. You know, almond oil, avocado oil, olive oil, all the different plant oils. Essential oils are not typically used as much for moisturization as they are for aromatherapy and skin benefit. But all of our products are using plant oils for their moisturization. So if somebody wants something that's completely oil-free, then they should probably try to find an aloe-based moisturizer, or just use straight aloe on its own. Otherwise, those are really the only 2 options naturally for moisturization, is either aloe or plant oils. Okay? Okay. We have a couple of more questions.
This isn't actually a question, but I wanted to share. One of my customers came in and he had tend to have skin cancer on his hands a lot. So I recommended using the carrot lotion for him, and he came back and he just raved about how it was the only product that he'd found that really actually helped heal his skin and benefited from it. So he loved the
Don't
lotion.
you love that when
Yes.
that happens? You just love that. Well, I'll tell you, you know, sometimes we would love to be able to take credit for the products really working, but we can't. It's simply that we're using Mother Nature's ingredients, and they're made by God. They tend to work better than stuff made by man. That's the reality of it. And so many of these ingredients are incredibly healing. The carrot seed oil, the comfrey we put in all of these products, they're going to heal skin faster than anything else on the planet can. And they do it naturally and safely. So I love that. I mean, that's always the most brilliant thing when you sell something to someone and it really corrects their problem. Because think about it, that's the only reason people buy things, is they think they have a problem. If someone walks into your store and says, I'm perfect, there's absolutely nothing here I need, that would be kind of a drag, wouldn't it? All right? So you're always trying to help them like solve some situation or find a remedy to some problem. So don't ever feel like, you know, you don't want to know what their problem is. You do. That's how we help them find the things that will best cure them. Okay, well, thank you for sharing that. I appreciate it. Okay, as we're talking about our farmers market products, we've talked now about our 4 different facial cleansers, all right? We said we cleanse, exfoliate, tone, and moisturize. So let's talk now about the next step, which is exfoliation. But I think we have one more question.
The eye area is so sensitive. Is there any soap that you recommend for removing eye makeup?
All of our soaps are gentle enough that they shouldn't be an irritant to removing eye makeup. They will effectively remove eye makeup unless it's waterproof. Then you typically need something stronger and chemically derived to remove that. But if you just have regular eye makeup on, I mean, I use the Carrot Complexion Bar to wash my face and it removes all eye makeup, so that's fine. Okay? Okay. Let's talk about exfoliation now. Cleansing was the first step, exfoliation is the second, all right? Here's a really bold statement. Exfoliation is the key to healthy, young-looking skin. Now everyone should go, because everyone's looking for the key, all right? Here is the fountain of youth, okay? All right, not only am I going to explain to you why exfoliation is the key to healthy, young-looking skin, I'm going to prove to you that it's true. All right, let's talk about the skin as an organ again here. As we said, the skin is made up of multiple layers. Skin cells are born in the lowest layer of skin, which is called subcutaneous tissue. Skin cells only live to be 28 days old. Now, during its short life, its job is to rise through the different layers of skin, providing collagen, nutrients, and physical support for this organ. On day 28, that skin cell arrives on the outer epidural layer of skin that we see, and it dies. Your entire body's a little graveyard of dead skin cells, all right? Imagine little tombstones all over, all right? You cannot remove dead skin cells by washing. You can only remove them through exfoliation. Every single day, skin cells are being born. Every single day, skin cells are dying. Every single day, you should exfoliate your skin. People say to me all the time, oh, my skin's really delicate. I only exfoliate once a week. Well, the reality is you got 6 days of dead skin cell buildup, all right? It's as simple as that, all right? What happens if you don't exfoliate your skin every day? You build up layers and layers and layers of dead skin cells that are holding in dirt, grime, perspiration, and toxins that your skin as an organ is trying to release. Now, what might be the result of that? Well, you might look in the mirror and you might say, gee, my skin is so gray, it's so dull. I have this like nasty pallor to my skin. Why is there no radiance? Or you might find that you start breaking out for no apparent reason. Or for a lot of people, you'll see they get little bumps all over their upper arms, an area very prone to clogged pores. Or you might find that you put on moisturizers that don't seem to absorb or do anything. Or you might find you have really bad body odor for no apparent reason, all right? These are all results of not exfoliating your skin every single day. So every day we should. For our face, we sell one product for exfoliation, and that is the Citrus Facial Scrub. You all have samples of it in your bag if you'd like to pull it out and see it more closely. This is actually one of my favorite Burt's Bees products to eat. I just love how this tastes, all right? Every day when I exfoliate my face, I just exfoliate my lips and lick it all off. It tastes like Thanksgiving to me. You know, there's ground nuts and orange peel and nutmeg in there. Every day I feel like I'm home for the holidays in the shower when I'm doing the scrub, all right? So that gives you a little texture after the Orange Essence cleansing cream, all right? And then we'll round it off with some coconut foot cream at the end, all right? All right, so this facial exfoliant is gentle enough for daily use by normal, oily, or dry skin. It's perfect for all skin types. Now, when we talk about exfoliating your face, we're talking about very gentle, delicate exfoliation. This is not scrubbing the kitchen floor, okay? I've seen people who think they're going to rub off zits or scrub away wrinkles. It doesn't work that way. All right? We're simply removing dead skin cells so the skin is porous and it can absorb what it needs to and release what it needs to. All right? So every single day you should exfoliate your skin. When we said cleanse, exfoliate, tone, and moisturize, hopefully you're going to cleanse, tone, and moisturize both AM and PM. But you would only ever exfoliate one time a day. Twice would be too much. And always make sure that if you have exfoliated, that you moisturize after. Because there is that old saying, exfoliation without moisturization leads to dehydration. All right? I'm sure you all knew that, didn't you? All right? All right, so always make sure that you moisturize if you have exfoliated. All right, so this is perfect for daily use. Now remember when I told you I was going to prove to you that exfoliation is the key to healthy young looking skin? Here's the proof. Take a look at any elderly senior man that you know, some man in his 70s, 80s, 90s, and take a look at his face. You're going to see around his eyes, he's going to be all aged, and on his forehead, yet this part of his face looks smooth like a baby's butt. What is that about? Because he was shaving every day of his life, and that's the ultimate exfoliation. Have you ever noticed men don't age from here to here? They only age from here to here. It makes me want to like shave my forehead, shave around my eyes, you know. All right, so we do know that exfoliation keeps the skin looking young. Instead of us girls shaving our face, we'll just exfoliate it instead, and men can exfoliate the rest of their face that they haven't shaved. But it really is the key to keeping the skin looking young and healthy. Now, we've talked about facial exfoliants. I would like to point out that for body exfoliants, we have one brilliant product that you may not have realized is actually works as an exfoliant for the body. These are ground Dead Sea salts, as well as sea salt and Epsom salts and baking soda. So they're highly detoxifying, but very, very finely ground. Now, we've loaded these salts with essential oils, predominantly bladderwrack and different seaweeds. So they're very detoxifying. They're really good for bloating, swelling, any kind of circulatory sluggishness, or if you're bloated premenstrually, it's really good for all of those things. But because this salt is finely ground, you can also use it in the shower. Simply pour some into your hand and use it on your skin as an exfoliant. And it's so much more affordable than so many of the salt scrubs that are on the market today. Have you seen the prices of some of these salt scrubs? I mean, it blows me away. It's salt. Do you know how cheap salt is? And they're charging like $30 for these jars of scrubs. So you don't have to spend outrageous money like that to find a good salt exfoliant. This one's brilliant and very affordable, and you have the versatility of soaking it in the bath or using it as an exfoliant in the shower. Okay? All right. So facial exfoliation as well as body exfoliation should really be done daily if you want your skin as an organ to be totally vibrant and healthy. Okay? So that's a little bit about exfoliation. We said we cleanse, exfoliate, tone, and moisturize. Now, we've already talked about the two different toners that we sell, the tomato toner for oily and troubled skin and the new wild lettuce toner for normal to dry or sensitive skin. Just somebody tell me, what's the purpose of a toner? What do toners do? They close the pores. What else? Not necessarily. Some have a lot of alcohol in them, so they might not be hydrating. Yeah, toners are considered the last step of cleansing. All right, so if any of you have ever used a toner, you know that even though you've washed your face and even though you've exfoliated, you put that toner on a cotton pad and go over your skin and voila, where did all this dirt come from? All right, so toners are considered the last step of cleansing. They're to remove any last traces of dirt, makeup, grime, anything that's still on your skin. They're designed to help balance the pH of your skin and refine your pores. And it's always the last step before you put a moisturizer on. Okay? So that's the purpose of toning. Then we end with moisturizing. The only moisturizers we sell in the farmer's market line are the Carrot products. And I think you're all pretty familiar now with what they're designed to do and how they work. Okay, so cleanse, exfoliate, tone, and moisturize. That is the whole facial process. Okay? Here we go.
For the bath salts, if you were going to use them in the shower, how would you tell a customer to use them?
I simply take the container with me in the shower and I just pour a small amount in my hand and do that part of my body and pour a little bit more and do that part of my body. It's really quite easy, okay? Just pour a little into your hand. And if that container isn't the most convenient for them, then maybe they have something else that they like, because it's obviously not waterproof, being a paper container. But totally works beautifully in the shower as an exfoliant. Okay, we are now going to talk about some of the farmers market body products. Because we have so many products and our time is not unlimited today, I'm going to focus more on the products that I find are a little bit more esoteric. Some of the ones that I think are pretty self-explanatory, I won't go into as much. So if there's anything that I don't cover that you would like more information on, just please feel free to ask, okay? All right. In farmers market in our body products, we literally have things that allow you to care for yourself from your head down to your toes. So let's just start at the top and we'll work on down. All right, for our hair, we have our avocado butter deep conditioning hair treatment. Now, this is a very popular product for Burt's Bees. In case some of you have never tried this yourself, I'll pass it around. Do feel free to taste it. This one tastes like a peach daiquiri. This is our happy hour product, all right? All right, the avocado butter hair treatment can be used by any hair type, but depending on your hair type would determine how you would use it. If your hair is relatively thin or fine, you'd probably want to use it about once a week as a deep conditioning treatment. If your hair is quite thick or coarse, you might want to use it daily as your conditioner. The trick is how to use it, all right? You apply a small amount, key word, small amount. All right, I find that people have a real tendency of overusing Burt's Bees products. Have you experienced that yourself? When they go into the hand salve and they take a big glob and they put it all over and then they say, it's so greasy. And it's like, well, you just used enough for about 32 people. So go shake hands with everyone in the store and then come back and tell me how you like it, all right? So small amount is really key here. Apply a small amount when the hair is wet. Leave it in while you're in the shower or leave it in all day. The longer you leave it in, the better. But when you want to remove it, you shampoo it out. It's not a rinse out conditioner. It's loaded with olive oil and avocado oil, all these rich oils to condition your hair. They don't rinse out easily. All right, so it is a shampoo out conditioner. And I also know a lot of people with very curly hair or short hair or coarse hair that even use it as a styling pomade and put it in the hair and leave it in all day. So as long as you would like to leave it in, that's good. It's really excellent for you, but just shampoo it out when you want to remove it. All right? A couple of other body products that we have in this line. One of our cult products at Burt's Bees is the lemon butter cuticle cream. Any lemon butter cuticle lovers in here? Oh, a few. Okay. All right. There's always that question with nails, do I cut my cuticles or do I not? Let's be clear about that once and for all. The cuticle is the root of your nail. If you cut the roots of a plant, what happens to it? It dies or it suffers tremendously. If you cut your cuticles, your nails will be thin, they will be weak, they will peel, chip, crack, everything they were never intended to do. So instead, you want to nourish the cuticle, and for whatever reason, in God's big plan of things, lemon oil gives the cuticle all the nutrients it needs. So nourish the cuticle. I find it's best to use it at night because you know you won't be washing your hands for several hours. Simply place, huh? This is the Italian part of the training, okay? Simply place a small amount on each nail, rub it in, and then just go in and push the cuticle back. You don't want to cut it, but you also don't want the cuticle growing up on top of the nail. It'll become like a plant that's root bound. It almost inhibits the growth of the nail. So if you simply push the cuticle back and nourish it, your nails will be so healthy and so incredibly strong, it will finally occur to you why they're called nails. Okay. All right. Moving all the way down to our feet, we also have our coconut foot cream. This is the fattiest moisturizer that we make at Burt's Bees. This is loaded with olive oil and coconut oil, all those rich, rich fatty oils. This is particularly good for skin that is so dry that it's to the point of being cracked and calloused. Most people have that on their feet. Some people have it on their hands, even knees or elbows. So anywhere that skin is so severely dried that it's cracking and callousing, this is the product that you would use, all right? Again, I think it's best to use the coconut foot cream at night. Not a good idea before you put on mules, all right? Woo! Yeah, that's some slippery cream, okay? All right. I actually have a friend who's addicted to this cream. He like spreads it on toast, he eats it by spoonfuls, and he was calling me about once a week saying, Sonny, I need more cream. And I hadn't seen him for a while, and I noticed when I saw him that his butt was getting really fat. And I thought, it's that coconut foot cream. That's it. If we put caloric content on here, it'd be off the scale, all right? All right, also in Farmer's Market line, we have our milk and honey lotion, which I think most of you are familiar with. What I would like to point out, you all know about the beauty of our natural lotions now, is the milk and honey is not only incredibly popular with women, I find it extremely popular with men. A lot of men like using it as both a face and body moisturizer. They find that aroma of milk, honey, peppermint, and coconut to be very edible and pleasing, and they like that aroma. So if you have a gentleman looking for a moisturizer, and most like something they can use on both face and body, that's the product that I would recommend, all right? We also have our almond milk beeswax hand cream. This, formerly known as kitchen cupboard hand cream, this is sort of like the artist Prince, all right? All right? The almond milk kitchen cupboard hand cream is the cream for what we call dishpan hands. Hands that get dehydrated through water exposure. This has the highest content of aloe vera of any cream that we sell. So it tends to be very good for skin that's dehydrated through water exposure. And it certainly smells good. People always open that cream. What do they always say? Oh, I wish I could eat it. Just hand them a spoon. Say, dig right in, okay? All right. So those are all of our Farmer's Market products. So again, everything you need for your face and your body. Any questions about anything in Farmer's Market before we move on? All right, I'd now like to move on to a very exciting portion of our day, which is to introduce to you many of the new products as part of our Wings of Love collection. All right, so let's focus on Wings of Love now for the next few minutes. Wings of Love is the name of our natural cosmetics collection. And I would just like you to imagine a few things for a moment. Just imagine a world where women's natural beauty is honored and respected. Yeah, how about that? All right? Imagine a world where women are no longer asked to put harsh, toxic chemicals on their skin simply to look younger and prettier. Imagine a world where cosmetics were actually good for your skin and actually offered you true skin benefits and did something healthy for you. Imagine a world where these healthy cosmetics were actually affordable. Well, imagine no longer, because the reality is here with Wings of Love. Wings of Love is Burt's Bees' commitment to introducing a 100% natural, healthy, edible line of cosmetics for women. It's about time, girls, don't you think? Absolutely. If women only understood that the very products they're putting on their face to look younger and prettier are aging them so much faster than any environmental pollutants ever could, they'd have that stuff off their face so fast and those companies would be out of business, nobody would ever know what hit them. Yet we've been socialized and advertised to that we have to use these harsh, toxic chemicals on our skin to look young and pretty. Well, I am here for one to tell you that is not the case, all right? Now, with Wings of Love, our commitment is we want to create a line of cosmetics that not only provide true skin benefit, that are not only 100% natural and edible, that actually enhance a woman's natural beauty instead of trying to mask it, which has really been the goal of most cosmetic lines through the ages. So you're going to find the products in this line are very thoughtful. They tend to work very effectively without being overly heavy or coating. And again, all of the products are 100% natural. When we first introduced Wings of Love, we started off with the Wings of Love lipsticks, our all-natural lipsticks. Now, the beauty of these lipsticks is we've simply taken our lip balm, our #1 selling product and the thing we're most famous for, and we've simply added natural pigments for color. So now, instead of a woman wearing a lipstick that totally dries her lips out, how many of you have ever worn lipstick only to have to wear lip balm all night to offset the damage, all right? Do you know why that is? It's because lipsticks are made from the same base ingredient that lip balms like Chapstick and Carmex and Blistex are all made from. That ingredient is called petrolatum. All right? Now, we all live in Southern California here. You look out at the ocean and you see those big oil rigs that are out there pulling fossil fuels out of the ocean floor. You refine them one way, it becomes petroleum for your car. You refine it another way, it becomes petrolatum for cosmetics. Further refined, it becomes mineral oil. I think it's much better to keep those fossil fuels in our automobiles and off our skin. Why do people use petrolatum? Why do companies use it? 2 reasons. It's incredibly slippery and it's incredibly cheap. So initially you put it on and it feels all slippy, slidey, glidey, but the long-term problem with petrolatum, not only is it not natural, is that it's incredibly drying to the skin. So how many people have you ever seen when they take their lipstick or their chapstick or their Carmex and they put it on and an hour later it's like, geez, my lips are so dry, so they put more on. And an hour later it's like, oh, geez, my lips are so dry, so they put more on, all right? Well, they've become a moron, all right? Okay? They're actually creating chronic chapped lips and creating chronic situations of dryness by using petrolatum. So that's why commercial lipsticks dry your lips out. They too are made from petrolatum. So let me offer a selling suggestion to you. If you've never tried our Wings of Love lipsticks, and if you're not sure if your store is a cosmetic store or if you have much of a future in cosmetics, the easiest way to move into the Wings of Love line is simply by selling the mini lipstick variety pack. It is available in its own little display if that's the only item you want to carry. Put it near your cash register if you can, right next to lip balm. And then every time a woman goes to pick up a lip balm, you can say to her, did you realize that the Burt's Bees lipsticks are simply the lip balm with natural colors added? It's the easiest way to get them all to try the little variety pack, and then they can find the color that works best for them. Then they kind of start coming back to you as a source for their lipsticks and more cosmetic products. So that's a very easy way to move into the Wings of Love lipsticks if you haven't tried that. So the lipsticks were the first product that we launched. And by the way, we've been named the #1 selling natural lipstick on the market today. Now, the lip pencils have been launched in 7 colors to match all 7 shades of the lipstick. The beauty of these pencils is we are the first company on the market to use a type of wax which is called Japan wax. Now, this wax comes from a tree called the haze tree. And the haze tree grows an abundant number of berries that have a very thick waxy coating. And that's where we actually get the wax itself. The beauty of Japan wax is that it's soft enough that you can not only outline the lips, but you can color in the whole lip easily, yet it's basically unmovable. It doesn't feather and bleed. Many soft waxes, as you know, they have a tendency to really move a lot. So this is sort of like the best of both worlds, because you get the softness to color in the whole lip without the bleeding and the feathering. And as we all know, if you color in your entire lip with a lip liner and then put lipstick on top of it, your lipstick will last hours and hours longer than if you just wear lipstick on its own. It was funny, in one of my classes recently, there was a gentleman in the class and he couldn't quite understand that concept of why you had to line it and then put something on it, on top of it. And I said, it's just like when you paint your house. One coat never quite does it, does it? You always got to have that second coat of paint to really give it true color. So it's basically the same thing by using a liner and then a lipstick on top of it. So I'll pass another one of these around over here too, so you can all try these lip pencils. Now you'll also notice that each pencil comes with its own sharpener. We had to have extra sharp sharpeners made because this wax is so soft. If you use a normal sharpener, you might damage the pencil. So please use the sharpeners that come with the pencils themselves, okay? Now, the lipsticks I would call full color coverage. The lip shimmers I would call a kiss of color and a whole lot of pearlization. So this is a much sheerer color and just an incredible intense amount of shine on the lips. So we have the lip shimmers in 4 different colors. We basically have a fuchsia, a purple, a peach, and a white. The white can be worn on its own or used as a highlighter. Actually, any of them can be worn on their own or used as a highlighter over a regular lipstick as well if you want to add some pearlization and shine to it. Now, initially when these came out, we thought they were going to be most popular with a younger female audience, yet we've seen that women of all ages are really loving having the option of a lighter color and not quite as intense coverage when you want a little bit more natural look and not something quite so heavy. So we are finding the appeal has been in a much wider age range than we initially thought. All right? So lipsticks, lip pencils, and lip shimmers began Wings of Love lip category. All right. So let's take a look at the new products. First of all, we'll start off with the tinted moisturizer. Now you'll notice in all of our packaging for Wings of Love that we're using real women, all right? Young women, older women, lighter women, darker women, bigger women, smaller women, real women. No models, all right? This is Mary, who's our yoga teacher that we love dearly, all right? She's so phenomenally fit and so beautiful just because she's been doing yoga for like 25 years. So she gets to be on the front of our tinted moisturizer. Now, this is what the packaging actually looks like. The tinted moisturizer simply takes our natural lotion, we've thickened it up slightly, and added natural pigments to it. So this is both a moisturizer as well as a foundation, all right? You would not have to use another moisturizer in conjunction with this unless your skin was incredibly dry. You know, if your skin's pretty normal or combination, I'm sure you're gonna find this is sufficient to use as both a moisturizer and a foundation. We've loaded it with vitamin E and plant oils so that it's nourishing the skin while it's on the skin. We're also using titanium dioxide as a colorant. So remember that mineral we talked about that we found in Lifeguard's Choice Lip Balm? So even though we do not claim SPF on this because the FDA does not regulate minerals, we can't claim that, you are going to have light coverage equivalent to about an SPF of 5 to 8 by using these because titanium dioxide is what's used as the colorant. All right, so you are going to get good basic coverage to protect you as you walk in and out, all right, in and out of the inside, outside. So I'm going to pass some around so that you can see them. The tinted moisturizer is coming initially in 4 shades, light, medium, dark, and ethnic. Now the biggest challenge we face in launching with cosmetics was how do you deal with the million different skin tones that are out there, because that's about how many skin tones there are. We figured if we could come up with 4 very, very good basic shades in each of those categories, then if something doesn't suit you perfectly, feel free to blend 2 of them to customize a color that best suits your skin type. All right? That was the best way we could think of how to sensibly address this situation. All right, so I'm going to pass a couple more of these around so that you guys can see them. All right, and everybody who's tried them so far is absolutely loving them. Sheer coverage yet thorough coverage. I mean, it is going to give you coverage from, you know, blemishes and facial flaws, yet it looks incredibly sheer and beautiful on the skin. It does not look like a heavy foundation or a mask. Yes?
You said that the base is one of the moisturizers.
It's the lotion base. It's the basic lotion base that we make all of our lotions from before we start specializing them to become carrot or to become milk and honey. Okay? All right. All right? Okay, so those are our tinted moisturizers. That's the first new product. And that really is the beauty of it, that I think you can use it both as your moisturizer and your foundation. Eliminates one step for you. All right, the next of the products, of the new cosmetic products, are our concealers. All right, now what do you use concealers for? To cover up dark circles. Well, we have nothing to conceal, right? None of us. No, nothing. All right? They're used to cover up dark circles, maybe blemishes or facial flaws that you might have. All right? So this is what the compact looks like. All right? Of course, it's recycled and recyclable, 100% natural. This is beeswax based. We're using vitamin E oil in there to help nourish the skin. And guess what's really beautiful that these under eye concealers have? Yeah, they're loaded with cucumber extract to help reduce under eye puffiness. So again, all of these products try to be multifunctional. They try to offer you real skin benefit while they're giving you some color and some coverage. So this one works well. I like it particularly over top of the Royal Jelly Eye Cream. I find that the Royal Jelly Eye Cream is rich enough that it gives you a nice base that you can just gently blend that in. Don't forget, when you're applying under eye concealers, always pat, don't rub. You have no elasticity in this skin. It's like tissue paper. So very gently pat and always move from the outside in. If you do this, you're gonna look like an old hound dog someday, all right? So make sure not to do that. Always gently pat in that area. The concealers are launching initially in 3 colors, light, medium, and dark, all right? So I'm gonna pass them around to each of the rows here so you have a chance to take a look at them. All right. So those are the under eye concealers. We are also launching 4 shades of cream blush, all right? Now these beautiful blushes are, again, beeswax based. They're loaded with vitamin E and plant oils. We've even put a little cocoa butter and even comfrey root extract in these blushes. So they're incredibly healing to the skin. In addition to being healing, they're also very, very versatile. There are no essential oils added for fragrance. So they, in a sense, are scent-free, which allows you to use them on your lips or on your eyes, as well as on the cheeks. All right, so you can basically use them as color anywhere on the face that you'd like, lips, cheeks, or eyes. They're launching initially in 4 different shades, and I'd like to tell you what those 4 shades are. First, we have, let's start off with Courage, all right? Courage, I would call a medium pastel rose tone, and it is pearlized. Okay, so Courage is a medium pastel rose that is pearlized. All right, then we have Clarity. Clarity is a medium terracotta tone, and it is the only matte color of the 4 blushes. The other 3 are pearlized. So here is the medium terracotta that is not pearlized. Then we have Tenderness. Tenderness I would call a metallic bronze tone, all right? So it's more of a bronzer than the others. And last but not least is Enthusiasm, all right? Enthusiasm is a combination of gold, purple, and peach. In the container, it actually looks like the darkest of all 4 of the colors, yet I find it to be the most translucent of them all, actually. It is pearlized, but it actually is much more translucent on the skin than it looks like in the container. So those are our 4 different shades of blush. I think it's a nice range, going from the rose to the terracotta to some of the browns. So again, there should be something that suits your particular interest there. And again, you can use them for eyes, lips, or cheeks. All right? The last of the new cosmetic products are our Wings of Love facial powders, all right? This is what the canister looks like for the facial powders. I love that Wings of Love wing that's on the container. To me, it looks like a cross between like Harley Davidson and FTD, all right? We're right in there somewhere, all right? So this is the container, and it will come cartoned. These facial powders are a combination of mica, clay, and cornstarch. So they're very absorbent. What do you use face powders for? To cut the shine, and what else? Yeah, even out skin tones, and to help create that flawless finish. Most women that wear foundation will complete that process by putting loose powder over the foundation to kind of set it. It helps set the makeup so that it lasts longer throughout the day, as well as absorbing excess oils and shine. Initially, the face powder is coming in 5 colors: light, medium, dark, ethnic, and translucent. So those will be the 5 colors that the powder will be available in. And I'll pass some of these around. And you know what I think is so cool? Seeing Burt's Bees name on a little, a little puff, a little cosmetic puff. It's just like such a wonderful thing. We've waited a long time for that to happen, all right? Now, I do want to point out that all of the cosmetic items, all of the new cosmetic items other than the face powder, but the moisturizers, the concealers, the blush, as well as lipsticks and all the lip products, they are all peggable. All right? You have two options with cosmetics from Burt's Bees. You will notice that any of the products are now available in their own lucite display. All of them are, which provides testers for the products as well. You'll even notice that in the tinted moisturizer here, I think this is kind of neat. They give you a little lucite display and it's almost like a file. So light, medium, dark, you can see which colors are there. That kind of makes it a little easier to shop this, all right? But I also want to point out that because they are peggable and because we are launching our new display units, you'll notice that on this unit right here with 6 shelves, I have housed about 85 to 90% of the entire personal care line. All right, so the majority of the entire personal care line you could fit on one side. And if you wanted to make this unit double-sided, which it will have that capability, the back side of it could be pegged and shelved to hold the entire cosmetics line. So in one very small unit, you could have everything from Burt's Bees. Personal care on one side, cosmetics on the other. You've got it all in one little island. Don't you think that's great? And I think it'll make it a lot easier for people who typically wouldn't have carried cosmetics just because it's all part of the Burt's Bees family and they know that people are into Burt's Bees and will trust that it'll make it much easier to think about moving into cosmetics with this unit and doing it two-sided. So that's a little bit about our Wings of Love. I just want you to know we are really committed to this. We really believe that women should have an option of using something healthy and natural on their skin to enhance their beauty instead of all these toxic products that they have been given for years. So know that we make that commitment to you ladies out there, and we're not going to stop until we have a full line of this and keep improving upon it so you really have the things that you want in cosmetics. Okay? Now let's go back and finish our conversation about the rest of the personal care products. I'd like to speak to you for a moment about a couple of products in the Burt's collection, all right? The Burt's collection was one of our original collections of products, and it was based on good-for-you bee ingredients. Beeswax, royal jelly, bee pollen. Because Burt was a beekeeper, that's what we had initially. So again, most of the Burt's collection is based on bee ingredients. Some of these products are a little bit esoteric, so I want to make sure you understand how they're best used. Now, if you wouldn't mind going in your gift bags one more time, you'll notice that you all have a box of the newly reformulated Burt's Beeswax Moisturizing Cream. Have any of you tried this yet in its new form? It's so beautiful. Wait till you try this. This was the first cream we ever had at Burt's Bees, and it was quite rich and thick. Now that we have figured out how to preserve water naturally, we have a lot more options of making things lightweight by adding water to them. So I absolutely adore this cream now. The rose aroma is so beautiful and delicate. You smell like a rose bush after you put it on. You can use this on the face. It's a really versatile, normal skin, combination skin if your skin is slightly dry. I also find I love using it all over my body and hands as a moisturizer as well. So beautiful all-purpose moisturizer for face or body that has now been reformulated, and I think you'll really enjoy it in its new form. Now there are two other products in the Burt's collection that before I talk to you about them specifically, I want to tell you one more thing about your skin. There are several areas of skin on your body where you do not have oil glands, all right? Under your eyes, your lips, the front of your throat and chest, the back of your hands, the palms of your hands, and the soles of your feet. All right, you've never seen your hands get oily. They can sweat, but they can't get oily. You'll also notice that you tend to age much more rapidly in these areas where you don't produce oil naturally. As a matter of fact, you age about 8 times faster in these areas because oils keep the skin young and you don't produce them naturally there. So when we make products for these parts of the body, they tend to be more oil and nutrient rich than the rest of the moisturizers we make, simply because you don't provide oils on your own in those areas. So that's why you have eye creams and décolleté and hand creams, okay? So in the Burt's collection, we do have another one of our cult products at Burt's Bees, which is the Royal Jelly Eye Cream. Now, this cream is specifically designed to super feed and nourish this area of skin around the eye. How many of you are familiar with royal jelly as an ingredient? Okay, well, some of you, many of you aren't, so let me tell you. Royal jelly is made by bees. When a bee pulls the nutrients out of a flower, out of a plant, it digests it and regurgitates it as royal jelly. All bees make royal jelly. They selectively feed it to only one bee, and that literally turns her into the queen. It is so nutrient rich that she will live 30 times longer than the worker bees and be fertile enough to keep the whole hive producing. So as I always tell customers, if royal jelly can turn a regular bee into a queen, imagine what it can do for you, all right? So you simply use this cream below the eye and above the eye, both day and night, to keep that skin super soft and supple and moist. Feel that under my eye. I've had this on since like about 6:30, and you can really still feel it. It's very supple, isn't it? And again, for 73, I'm looking great, aren't I? It really plumped up those wrinkles, didn't it? Okay? So again, use it both day and night. Now, I will tell you, I had one woman come to me at the Atlanta gift show, and we were talking about a lot of things, and she then started to say, you know, I don't like that royal jelly. It's just too thick and heavy. First indication of what? She's using too much. If anybody ever says that about any product, you know they're using probably more than twice as much as they need. And don't forget, all of them absorb better when the skin is damp. Mist your face with those complexion mists before you put the creams on. You'll use less and they absorb better, okay? And you also all have royal jelly in your bags as well, so you can try that. All right, I'd also just like to talk to you about the Jasmine Décolleté Cream, all right? Décolleté, it's not décollette, even though it looks like that. It's pronounced like today, day, coal, like a coal pencil, and té. Décolleté. Everybody want to try that? Décolleté, all right? Décolleté is the French word for the woman's throat, chest, and breast area. We do not have an English word for this. So instead of calling it throat, chest, and breast cream, we call it décolleté cream, all right? This is truly the mother of all creams that we have ever made at Burt's Bees. This contains the carrot seed oil to help undo sun damage. It has royal jelly, like the eye cream, to super feed and nourish the skin. It has rosehip seed oil, the best oil on the planet for undoing scarring. It's also loaded with calendula and vitamin E, which is excellent for stretch marks. Everything about this cream is designed to keep this area of a woman's body soft, young, and supple looking. All right? Now, I will tell you in my own personal experience, because of all the sun damage I've done, I used to find that when I would wake up in the morning, because I'm a side sleeper, I'd have all this severe wrinkling on my chest. You're trying to pull it apart. It's like we were turtlenecks till about noon when it would finally subside, you know? And I find now that I'm using the cream both day and night, the skin is so incredibly soft and supple that I'm really not getting any lines. Feel this. Now again, I've had this on since like 6:30. I mean, that's really supple, isn't it? You want to feel that? It is. You guys back there, you want to feel that? Yeah, I know you do, Ted. I know you do. Okay. All right. But again, that's what you'll find. This will stay that soft and supple till I put it on again tonight. And I was also starting to get not only a lot of discoloration, but raised bumps that kind of look like plucked chicken skin. I'm sure you've all seen that. Another really attractive part of sun damage. Completely has evened out all of my skin. You know, no more bumps, not the discoloration, and the wrinkles are going away. So use that Jasmine Décolleté cream, girls. It really works. I will tell you one thing. Some people don't like how it smells. All right? It has a very definitive aroma of jasmine and ylang. We don't want to change that aroma because those essential oils are also good for undoing sun damage. If you don't like how it smells, simply change it. Put a little bit in your hand, add some oils of something you like. Little lavender. I'm not particularly fond of it in its natural state. I add a little bit of vanilla and a couple drops of tangerine oil. And ooh, does it smell good then. So if you don't like how it smells, simply change it. Add the vitamin E oil that smells like lemon, add lavender complexion mist, add whatever you want and cut that aroma if it's not your favorite, but don't not use it just because you don't like the aroma. It's way, way too incredibly effective. It's also excellent for women's pregnant bellies, for stretch marks. Anybody who's suffering stretch marks on their thighs or hips, that's the cream to use to undo any of that damage. Okay? All right, the last of the products in the Burt's collection is the Herbal Blemish Stick. Just want to point out that it's not only excellent for the spot treatment of blemishes, it's incredibly effective at reducing enlarged pores. Sometimes people suffer that even more than blemishes in their nose or their T-zone. Just put it on there, shrinks them right up, okay? Don't overuse it though, it's very, very potent. Apply it to blemishes AM and PM. I had somebody who used it like, 7, 8 times a day and all their blemishes got very inflamed. It's like they were overusing it, all right? So it's very potent. A little bit goes a long way. All right. I'd now like to move on to the Farmer's Friends products. So here we have our new Burt's Bees Rosemary Mint Shampoo Bar. This is a vegetable-based soap. We're using natural yucca as the sudsing agent. Rosemary and mint work to stimulate the scalp. We've also loaded it with oat protein, plant oils, and vitamin E, so it helps to nourish and condition the hair. You simply rub the bar right on your head like you would wash your skin with a soap. All right? Highly sudsing, thoroughly cleansing, and leaves the hair very conditioned. It's also safe to use in camping if you're in streams or things, completely biodegradable, okay? I do want to point out that I do think that solid soap is probably best for hair that's short to medium length. If your hair is very long, you may not find that the most convenient way to wash. But for hair that's short to medium, it's a brilliant and 100% natural way to use shampoos, because many shampoos are very toxic. They're using a really, a lot of harsh chemicals and a lot of harsh soap agents as well. So I hope you enjoy trying this one that is more natural. All right? Yes, I think we have a question over here. Yes.
What about a customer who's interested in shampoos that are like for tinted hair? Would we be able to say that?
Well, oh no, I've never tinted my hair. No. I was going to tell you, I use it every day. Oh, but I never colored my hair. I forgot about that. No, it's perfectly fine for color-treated hair. Okay? All right. We're also, darn, you forget you're giving away those secrets. Okay. We're also launching the Peppermint Shower Soap. For those of you who were sad when the Green Goddess Body Bar went away, here it is being reintroduced. We got so many customers calling us that they were unhappy when we eliminated the Green Goddess Body Bar that we've simply reintroduced it under the Farmer's Friend banner being called Peppermint Shower Soap. All right, same soap it was before. Now you will find that this is an exfoliating soap. Simply rub it right on your skin. You don't need to use an additional loofah or salt or any other type of exfoliant. It's actually quite aggressive in its exfoliation. Smells like peppermint, so it's very, very refreshing. All right, a couple of other slightly newer products in the Farmer's Friend line. All right. These are just a couple of things I want to make sure that you're aware of. Peppermint breath drops for man or beast, whose ever breath is worse. All right? With Burt and Rufus, it's always a toss-up, so we put them both on there, all right? This is simply chlorophyll and peppermint oil in a vegetable glycerin base. For a human, simply put a few drops in your mouth. If you're giving it to your dog, you can either put drops directly in the dog's mouth or in their water bowl so that they're drinking the chlorophyll and peppermint oil throughout the day. Feel free to try it if you would like. We also have our therapeutic bath crystals. These are the most important product we sell for anyone suffering from aches and pains. That's what these salts are for, relieving muscle aches and pains from sports injuries, overexertion, but predominantly arthritis and bursitis. Anybody suffering pain from those conditions is going to find tremendous relief from using these crystals, okay? Also excellent for cold and flu season. They're so potent you don't even have to take a bath. You just have to smell in the can and it'll clear up all of your sinuses, all right? All right, the last of the Farmer's Market products I want to mention is the herbal deodorant. Has anybody tried the herbal deodorant here yet? Did you like it? All right, I'll tell you, I have been using natural deodorants for like 15 years, and quite frankly, most of them never worked. You know, I tried crystals and sprays and roll-ons, and not many of them did much. This is the first natural deodorant I've ever used that honestly works. It is a combination of sage, lemon, and lavender essential oils in an alcohol base. So the sage and the lemon kill bacteria that causes odor. The lavender soothes the skin, so even if you just shaved, you're not going to get all of that rashing and burning that so many products that you spray under your arm actually cause, all right? Men love the aroma as well as women. It's completely unisex and highly effective. Now remember when I told you about your homework assignment? Remember your homework assignment? Make sure that that's the first thing you look at when you go home is what you are spraying under your arms. Make sure that you are not using any antiperspirant product that contains aluminum-based ingredients. There is total proof now that aluminum toxicity is the cause of Alzheimer's disease. They're also directly relating it to the high rate of breast cancer. It's why men are getting breast cancer now. Your biggest lymph gland is located right here. You're spraying all these toxic chemicals under the arm and they're literally moving right into the breast. All right? If you want to get rid of body odor and feel comfortable naturally, exfoliate under your arms daily. People often say, oh, not my delicate underarms. All right? Scrub those pits, okay? You've got to get rid of the dead skin cells under there. They're holding in dirt and grime, and as the perspiration moves through there, it takes on a life of its own. All right, you can eliminate half your body odor by exfoliating under your arms. Then use a natural deodorant product. It's not an antiperspirant. You may still get moist. Perspiring is good. You just don't want it to be odorous. All right? So if you find that by exfoliating and using a natural deodorant you still have body odor, then simply take chlorophyll tablets. Go to a health food store, buy some chlorophyll tablets, clean your blood from the inside out. If your blood smells good, your body smells good. So there's a lot of ways that you can take care of this problem naturally and not have to lose your mind or lose your bosoms, all right? So we have to make that concerted effort for good health here. All right. I think that you're all pretty clear about our lip balms now. All right, you do know what Lifeguard's Choice is for. It's our weatherproofing lip balm for outdoor protection. And the last of the farmer's market products that I would like to mention is the Comfrey salve. All right, Dr. Burt's Comfrey ointment. It's a miracle in a tin, isn't it? This is probably the most miraculous product that we make at Burt's Bees, this humble little tin. All right, it is our first aid treatment for cuts, burns, scrapes, bruises, bug bites, skin rashes, eczema, psoriasis. It is the only first aid product that you need. Comfrey is known as knit bone in the world of herbalism. All right? For centuries, comfrey was used to heal broken bones. The leaf is very large. They would steam it to make it soft and supple and wrap broken bones in it. You can heal a broken bone in about 5 days wrapped in comfrey leaves. So comfrey is truly Mother Nature's strongest healer. So any topical skin injuries you have, nothing's going to heal it better than comfrey. I would like to end our conversation today by pointing out 2 things about the Bay Rum line. First of all, if there are few truly natural options on the market for women, there are even fewer for men. Without question, Bay Rum is the most natural grooming line on the market today for men. In that line, we have everything from a brilliant body soap, and in case you've never tried this soap, I think you all have samples of it in your bag. You have to try it. It's not only such a delicious, warm, sexy aroma. Women love the aroma as well as men, but it is aggressively exfoliating. Rub that right on your skin and you don't need any other kind of exfoliant. We put ground sticks and twigs in there is what we use for exfoliant. We go rake up the forest floor and put it in that soap, all right? We also have aftershave balm, cologne, and moisturizing cream. The moisturizing cream is the same formula as that Carrot Day cream and the beeswax moisturizing cream that you just tried. It's that lighter weight whipped formula, but it has the Bay Rum aroma for men. They can use it for face or body. And I would just like to point out this. It is so difficult to find men's gifts. At any holiday season, it always seems to be something that people struggle with. Now, in our little Bay Rum sampler kit, you have everything in the Bay Rum line except the shave soap. So in here there's body soap, there's aftershave balm, there's cologne, moisturizing cream, and even lip balm. The only thing missing is shave soap. So if you put this together with the shave soap and the shave brush and the shave mug, you have everything that a man needs for all of his shaving and grooming needs. The entire wholesale on this is $14. So at full retail, under $30, you can have a really great gift for men, and you saw how difficult it was to make this gift set, all right? So very, very easy. So think of it for Father's Day. You know, anytime you come into a holiday season where you're looking for great gifts for men, I think that this is a really nice combination, and it truly does satisfy all their grooming and their shaving needs. Okay. I think that pretty much completes our conversation on the products. Does anybody have any other questions before we end today? Okay. Yes?
Yeah, on the facial kit,
Uh-huh.
I see it comes with the garden tomato toner.
Uh-huh.
Is that going to change to, say, the lettuce? Because
As you'll notice, it used to be the complexion mist. We're trying to change the products pretty regularly now, so more people get an opportunity to sample more and more products. So it'll probably keep changing back and forth from different mists to different toners to different combinations of soaps, all things you would use on the face as part of a facial, but we'll try to, you know, always alter them a bit so that people have an opportunity to test more things. Okay? All right, well, listen, if there are no more questions, I would just like to end today by thanking you all so very, very much. I want you to know that we at Burt's Bees, we're a very small group of people. We run really lean. We work incredibly hard every day to try to show our gratitude to Mother Earth for her abundance and her graciousness of all of these ingredients that she provides for us. And we work very hard to try to be conscious and do the right thing. So every time that you use a product yourself or you recommend something from Burt's Bees to a customer, all of us are eternally grateful to you and forever indebted, because without you, we wouldn't be able to be a success. So on behalf of everyone at Burt's Bees, I thank you so much for all of your efforts. I hope that you find you know a lot more about the products now than you did when you came. Do you feel pretty smart? You look incredibly intelligent, all of you, all right? So I hope you have fun doing your homework tonight. I'm sure you will find it a major eye-opening experience as well. So enjoy trying your products. And again, on behalf of us all, thank you so much. We really appreciate your efforts in coming here today. All right, so that's it. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you.